Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I'm going to tell you my Revert story to Islam. I'm going to tell you from the beginning when I first had my experience with Islam to today when I have reverted. My first experience with Islam was, I know it was before, I don't really remember when I had my first experience, but I know it was before I was 7 years old, because when I was 7 years old my parents got divorced, and my parents have always and they still are really good friends, so it was no fight or anything like that. So we went on a family trip after they got divorced when I was 7. My mom, my dad, my sister, my younger brother, we went on a trip to Egypt, a Muslim country. So and I saw, you know, women wear the headscarf and black abayas, so I kind of know they didn't eat pork or anything like that, so I knew about Islam then. And my mom's friend, she's Greek, and she's kind of Christian, she's not Muslim, but she had a friend who is Lebanese and he is Muslim. So yeah, that was like, no, I was older, I was like 12 when, yeah, I was 12 when I met that Muslim guy, I don't know. Anyway, I had my first experience with Islam before I was 7. That's the only thing I remember. And I obviously had a bit of fool because my dad was a religious teacher. So, you know, Judaism, Christianity. My mum was a Catholic, she's not anymore. My dad was a Hindu, he's not anymore. Yeah, so I knew about religion, kind of. I went to church when I was younger, like every other week. Yeah, when I got older, I got into politics. I got interested and everything like that, and I've always been that person. If everyone liked Justin Bieber, I remember that everyone hated Justin Bieber when I was younger, and I was like, then I'm going to like him. I didn't want it to be like everyone else. I felt like if everyone thinks one way, I'm gonna think the other way. And when I got into politics, it was like the same thing. If everyone thinks one way, I'm going to be, well, you stupid. I think this way, like the other way. The complete opposite. And yeah, so when I got into politics, I listened to, I had really strong opinions, and I want to listen to people when they talked about politics and stuff, you know, and I listened to them. They had really convincing arguments, so I was like, yeah, it's like that way. I didn't really think of myself, I just listened to them and like, yeah, okay. I was young, I was like 12. Yeah, I remember when we had the election here in Sweden when I was, yeah, it was 2014. I started to get more and more into politics, really much. So it was almost 2.5 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago, around like that. And yeah. And when I listen to this, I start to listen to kind of propaganda podcasts, and or not really propaganda podcasts, I'm gonna say. They are really anti-Islam. They're like, Muslim is like the biggest problem, Islam is evil, it's like, Islam is the reason why it's so bad. Yeah, it was like that. Yeah, so I thought that way. I thought Islam was evil. I thought, yeah, all like that. I had really strong opinions. And when I went 2015, last year, I've also had social anxiety and didn't really walk with the group. Now I'm actually doing an test or anything if I have some weird stuff, if I'm autism or anything like that. I don't think I have it. Why do I say this? I don't know. Anyway, now you know it. But I have always had problem with social things and always been out of the group and all that stuff. 2015, between March and the end of May, beginning of June, I stayed home because I couldn't handle go to school. It was so hard because my social anxiety was so bad. And then I managed to go to school, and then in 8th grade, when I was 14, I changed school, and I got to learn a really nice girl, and we were, really good friends and stuff. So yeah, but then now 2016, when this kind of part of the school year started, she moved back to her previous school, and I was alone. I didn't have anyone to be with, and my social anxiety went so bad, so I was home from kind of January to now when school started again, August, because my social anxiety was really bad. And when I was home, I was watching YouTube and all that stuff, and then I still was into politics, I'm still into politics. I still thought Islam was evil and all that stuff at the beginning of this year. And then I got my recommended videos. I got a hijab tutorial from Dina Tokyo. Yeah, it was her. She did her turban style or anything. I was like, oh, this is so beautiful. I still thought Islam was evil and all that stuff, but I got interested in the hijab. Because I got I came over videos with people who were non-Muslim and wear the hijab, and I was like, oh my god, this is really interesting. And so I started to read more about that, and I like the concept of hijab, in general. Yeah. Anyway, I read much about it. I was still really anti-Islam and Muslims and all that stuff. But then some time passed, and in April I just stopped. I started watch I don't know, meaningless videos top 10 lists and stuff. Then I'm sorry if I'm not looking into the camera. It's like a window. People are going outside it, and I'm watching you. Yeah, and then oh my god, why are so hard to think? I don't know. Then then it was in around May. I started, a new video, a hijab tutorial popped up in my feed, and I was like, okay. So I watched it and stuff, get more into it, and I like the concept of, covering the hair and all that stuff. And I watched a Christian who wear a head covering. I was like, wow. And now I know that Christians are also supposed to cover their hair, and I had no idea about that. And yeah, so I got that interested, and I was not Christian. I didn't really think that Jesus was God's son. I was not Jew, and I was definitely not Muslim. Islam is evil, I thought. So I was like, okay, I'm going to follow my own religion. I'm just going to follow what I think is logical, and one day I maybe find one religion the truth, but today I'm just gonna follow, you know. And I started to implement things that I thought was logical and what I should do, what God think I should do, what I think God would like me to do. And I started kind of covering my hair a little bit. It was more kind of a Christian head covering, like half of the hair was out, and like it was not a proper head covering at all. But I started to wear that a little bit. I stopped. I didn't. Most of the time, I didn't wear it at all. Actually. Then. Yeah. Then. Around 2 weeks before school started, I got in. Yeah. I thought I came up with some videos about niqab, and I was like, this is interesting. So I watched some niqab videos from niqab about niqabis and all that stuff, and I came over stores sell niqabs and you know, this stuff, and I was like, okay, if I was Muslim, if I wore a niqab, which of this would I wear? So I like, oh, this I wear, this I would wear, that and that and that, and I was like, oh, this is so pretty. And then actually I saw my own niqab, and I tried it out, and I was like, okay, I will try to go out with it, just to know how it feels. And it was the best feeling ever. I have never in my whole life felt so free. This was not the one I saw. This is from Sinastyle. Just so you know. And I had never felt so free in my whole life. It was the best thing. My stress and anxiety just went away. I don't know. It was the best thing ever. So I was like, when I come, because I went to the store and then I went home, and then I told my mom, like, this is like the best thing ever. I just told her how amazed it was with it, because I know I was like, I want to wear this like all the time. So I was like, oh, I wish I could wear it all the time. She was like, yeah, why not? My mom is really open-minded actually. She's like, oh, you can be whatever you want, you can do whatever you want, like, I will love you, I will, like, everything like that. So she had no problem with it. She was like, yeah, do that, I don't care. Like, I was like, yeah, okay. So I actually started wearing niqab. I still thought then that Islam was evil, but I wore the niqab. I don't care, I want to wear it, it feels so amazing. And then I opened an Instagram account when I wore the niqab, and I got to know some who also were not Muslim who wore the niqab, and Muslims who wore the niqab, and they were like, oh my god, like, oh mashallah, something like that. And yeah, and then now we are like friends, but then she was like, now my friend messaged me on Instagram, and she was like, oh mashallah, you're wearing the niqab. And she was like, oh, if you have any questions about Islam, please ask me, because I answer you. And I was like, yeah, I have questions, because then I thought Islam was evil, just pure evil. I thought that, and I thought Islam was like, oh, there's no logical things in it, it's just rubbish. And then I came with verses, and this is what Islam says, and I was like, you know, I asked a question and she explained to me really, really well, like, no, it's like this, it's like that, this is how it is. And I was like, yeah, okay. So I got her so like, oh my god, I have this so wrong. And I still thought Islam was evil, because I hadn't asked kind of the bad questions yet. But then I was in a discussion with kind of a cultural Muslim. She was not really a Muslim, but she, you know, grew up Muslim. I had a discussion with her, and I said things about Islam, and she was like, no, it's not like that. And when when I researched it myself, I was like, what? It's not like that at all. So, because I was like, these podcasts and people I've listened to, what they have said about Islam is this is false. This is not what it is. Like, how can I have so wrong? How can they have so wrong? And they just take verse and everything out of their context, and I was like, oh my god. So I started, I talked with my friend like every other day, really often, and I got more and more into Islam. And one day when I sat at my desk, I just realized Islam is the truth. I'm a Muslim. I was so scared because I have went so long time like Islam is pure evil, Islam is like the problem of the world, this is why it's bad and all this stuff. And then I realized it's not like that. I was so scared because my view on Islam was like, I don't know, it was so weird. Then last day in September 2016, Friday, I took my Shahada via WhatsApp with my friend. Alhamdulillah. So yeah, then I became Muslim, and then I actually took my Shahada 6 days ago in the mosque with a friend. I got to learn. I got to I don't know. Excuse me. Via my Instagram account and another friend, and I took my Shahada day. I got a Quran. I got a praying mat. All of that stuff. So I'm so happy and thankful that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have guided me to Islam, and I'm so thankful for everything. And I hope, if you're looking into Islam, I really hope that you will revert or convert soon, inshallah. And if you have any questions about what's me to revert and all that stuff, so just ask them. I'm going to tell my kind of niqab / hijab story in another video, inshallah. But yeah, was everything for this video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.